Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I am back in another video, and today I'm going to try and catch up with all of the Transformers news that has happened over the last 2 weeks, give you guys my thoughts about that, and that includes everything from Transformers 1 concluding its box office run and its total to what is going to happen to Hasbro, apparently. On top of that, we've also lost a very important voice actress in the world of the Transformers and G.I. Joe. And we've got some leaks for Age of the Primes next year that I think they're going to make some fans excited, and some folks are going to go, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of good stuff, bad stuff. So without further ado, let's sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchase some merch. Links are in the description below. So the first news I want to talk to you guys today about is the unfortunate news that Morgan Lofting, who played the Baroness in G.I. Joe, she was also Moonracer in G1. You know, it's quite possible that she might have been Firestar as well. We are not sure about that because it's unclear which voice actresses played the females, except for Moonracer being definitively Morgan Lofting, but she was also a couple of other guest spots and appearances throughout the G1 Transformers cartoon. And boy, is it really, really, really sad. I actually got an opportunity to meet her at one of the RetroCons, and it was really, she was just a really sweet lady, and, you know, it's really unfortunate that she had passed away, so my deepest condolences to her family. And for all of us who really appreciated what she did, she will sorely be missed. So let's talk about Missing Link. Now, the Missing Link Optimus Prime figure is awesome. They are doing Bumblebee and Cliffjumper as well. They're a little on the pricier side, about $40 a pop, but they're fully posable new molds for G1 Transformers. Like, they're literally taking the G1 toys and making them posable. And that is incredible. Like, the original toys, yeah, we know they weren't as posable as they could have been. Having Optimus Prime as the first one was perfectly understandable. You know, Bumblebee and Cliffjumper are really simple to do. Obviously, just give them knees and elbows, and also make the head be able to turn. Well, now they're going to do the same treatment to the very first Transformer that came out, and that is Sunstreaker. And they're also going to do the, police variant, which is Cordon. So Sunstreaker, actually, the original toy came out in red. They released the toy in yellow for Transformers as Sunstreaker, and there was the police variant as well. So I'm hoping they do the red one, because that's supposed to be spin out. So it would be cool to have all three of them. But take a look at this. They look fantastic, man. In both modes. They're apparently not going to be licensing the toy, so they won't have the Countach label on him, so this way they don't have to pay licensing fees. And it'll have the red labels just like the original toy did, because that was the thing. It was just supposed to be red, like the robot mode was supposed to be as well in red, which is why his shoulders are the way they are. But since they changed the toy to yellow, they kept the red stickers intact, and that's the reason why he ends up with red shoulders. But still, this Sunstreaker looks awesome, fully posable, and they actually, show him next to his original toy, which you can see is not very posable. This new one has, the arms are posable. Now, I don't think you can actually turn his shoulders. He actually has bendable knees. The original toy was pretty much a brick. And this one takes that and turns it into a fully playable toy, and it looks awesome. They're also doing Cordon, looks great as a police car, and, so the police variant for a Japanese police car, very, very cool. But there's something extra. Take a look at this. You have a Diaclone driver. Each of them are going to come with a Diaclone driver. The one that comes with Sunstreaker is pretty much Spike. They're doing a Spike figure that comes with G1 Sunstreaker that is fully posable. I'm in. That's just it. I'm in. It's got the rub symbol there on the side, and it looks great next to the other, missing Link figures. I only have the cartoon variant for Optimus Prime. I know some people really wanted the toy accurate one. Some folks wanted the cartoon one, and some folks got both, and that's great. Sunstreaker and Cordon are definitely on my list. I'm not so sure. Maybe I think Cliff Jumper. Cliff Jumper would be the one to get for me, personally speaking, because my first 3 Transformers toys were G1 Bumblebee, G1 Cliff Jumper, and G1 Starscream. And if they do a Missing Link Starscream, that would be awesome. But a Cliff Jumper, my original Cliff Jumper is actually missing his feet. So this would be a great replacement to that. And he actually comes with the shoulder cannon. These are available currently on online retailers. They are importing it from Takara Tomy, because it is a Japanese exclusive. And I will have links in the description for them. But I think Cliff Jumper and Bumblebee are $40 a pop. It's like $90 for Sunstreaker and Cordon each, which is pretty pricey, And then, of course, you can take a look at basically it's a police officer for Cordon, but still looks awesome. Just, I'm elated. I definitely want the figure for sure. So let's talk about some leaks, shall we? So the first leak that we're getting here is an Armada Red Alert in color prototype. They are going to be doing Armada Red Alert during Age of the Primes next year, in order to complete the original trio of Autobots, which was Red Alert, Hotshot, and Optimus Prime for, Micron Legends / Armada. And I know this is going to make a lot of Armada fans happy. They've definitely wanted an update to the original figure. The original figure is fine. There wasn't much wrong with the original toy, except for the fact the backpack was kind of a little overbearing, and it had a lot of different, lights and sounds, and which is why it made it very hefty on the back. Obviously, this one's not going to have the lights and sounds that the original one did, nor is it going to have the chest opening gimmick. Or if it does, it's probably going to be a flip down. But if that's the case, I'm sure a lot of Armada fans will be happy about it, to complete their collection. Now I got to actually finish the Red Alert script that I have for a retrospective, because I do plan on doing a retrospective on Red Alert, and I was waiting I wanted to wait till the official reveal for him, and then I'll actually fully finish the script that I have for that version, for Red Alert as a whole, and get a video out for that character. Now, other things that with the Age of the Primes is a few more listings that these are a few more leaks that are popping out. And I think that some folks are going to be happy about this, and some folks are going to yeah, I don't necessarily want this. On a Discord server somewhere, Rekar39 is also with JT Prime doing a lot of different leaks with toys. Hasbro has a multi-year deal with the NFL, and they're going to use it. So it looks like they're going to do a Project Sports, where you're going to have a sports-sponsored Transformers toy. Yay. And the 49ers collab wow, this is not looking so hot, I'm not a big sports guy myself. I know some folks are, but I'm sure that people are going to be yeah, definitely. I definitely want whatever your favorite sports team is. What's going to think is for not being a sports fan, my wife is a Steelers fan since her family is from Pittsburgh. So, it's going to be one of those things where okay, all right, whatever the Pittsburgh Steelers won, that's going to be a gift to my wife. Because it's certainly not going to be something that I want in my collection, because I'm just not a sports guy. Give me Ninja Turtles, give me Ghostbusters, give me Knight Rider, heck, give me Airwolf. That's what I want to see, right? All of these collab figures that they do, the Ninja Turtles one. I actually got them on my desk here because I was actually planning on getting a review for this guy. Anyway, so the Selects G2 figures they're going to do is going to be for Slag and Snarl. Obviously, they're going to call him Slug. The G2 Grimlock is probably going to be the standard blue, not the turquoise. And that's going to be a regular release in Age of the Primes. And then a Generation Selects exclusive is to get the 2-pack with both Slag and Snarl. And they're probably going to go with a green slag and a red snarl because they reversed those colors later on in the year of 93. I actually had a red slag and a red snarl, and I had a turquoise Grimlock that I sold. I think I still have snarl, but I sold both slag and Grimlock at TFCon this past November. And so it's a matter of like, okay, do you want the G2 Dinobots? And I wonder if they're going to do the other two. Are they going to do both Sludge and Swoop in G2? Oh, he's turned off. Are we going to get him? Are we going to get the other two Dinobots in G2 colors as well, using the Studio Series 86 molds? Not sure. Now there's going to be a 4-pack as well. We don't know what characters are going to be in it except for 2. One is going to be Horrible, which is going to use the Skull Cruncher mold, and a Transformers animated Nemesis Prime. So they've already done the Motor Master, and now they're going to do a Nemesis Prime as well, using that same mold. And I want the Horrible figure. That's the figure that I want. I already have both Fangry and Squeeze Play. I ended up getting Fangry. I found him at a toy store in a throwaway bin for $5. I got him and another $5. I ended up getting the Black Arachnia, which I used to swap out the legs for on the Kingdom figure. And then, I've now decided to dub that character Spinnerette for, give it a new name. And then I want to shout out Megatronus Prime for getting me this guy. But now to get Horrible, yeah, I want to complete the Decepticon, Headmasters. I want the Autobot ones too. Like, give us an Autobot Sure Shot. Give us, which is a Target Master character. Give us Nightbeat. Give us an actual Headmaster Minerva. Give us Hosehead, Siren, and Go Shooter. Like, that would be cool to get all of the Headmaster Juniors, done in Legacy. We haven't gotten any of the Autobot ones. We just got the Decepticon ones. So we'll see. Now, they're also going to be doing Micronus is going to be based upon the Robots in Disguise 2015 appearance, in which he was training Optimus in that cartoon, if you recall, and was, responsible for being the one to send Optimus back to life. And then Vector Prime is going to be, so it's going to be the United character, but it's probably going to be maybe slightly recolored. Maybe they might give him a little bit of a darker deco or a more toy-inspired deco, because I think it was a darker brown was the release of the toy, but the cartoon was like a brighter one, which is what they used for United. So we'll see what they do with that. And we'll also see more out of the 13, at Cybertron Con. And Gigatron is apparently going to be the new HasLab. So I'm wondering if they're going to call him Gigatron. It would make sense to call him Gigatron because that's who the character was in Car Robots, right? But they named him Megatron and Galvatron in the Robots in Disguise US dub. So it would be cool. But the original mold is perfectly fine. Like, the original mold is great. Do they really need to, redo it? Maybe. I'm sure that folks are going to go, yeah, I love that cartoon. I definitely have to get that. We'll see if it is a very large goal for Gigatron and how big that toy is. If it's that version of the character, we don't know. If it's going to be Robots in Disguise even, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm sure that they will, because they did Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus for Omega Prime as a one set. And they did Star Saber, and then they did Deathsaurus. So now they're going to do Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus, and now do Gigatron. That's cool. I'm cool with that. And if they name him Gigatron, I'll be happy about that too, because then it'll acknowledge that he is a separate character, as the Car Robots anime, declared the character to be. Now let's talk about some news that I know is not going to make a lot of people happy. Well, at least, I already talked about this in a previous video, that Hasbro is not intending on financing any more Transformers movies, or movies in general about their IPs, because of the low box office coming back. And so Transformers 1 has concluded its box office run. It already finished in the US, but now it's finished worldwide, and it's finishing at $128 million, which is really, really bad. The movie had a $75 million budget, and, you know, the gross profit, I mean, gross to profit is really where you have to, like, look at how much it costs to make versus how much do they charge on marketing versus how much are they actually getting out of those ticket sales. So the accounting is going to be interesting. You know, I actually saw a report recently where someone was saying that movies, when they say they lost $100 million, did they really lose money? You know, that was an interesting take on things because they do some crazy accounting so they don't have to pay for actors. And Hollywood has a practice of doing that. But Paramount is hurting right now. Movie theaters are hurting right now because people don't want to go to the movies post the beer bug. And they don't want to go to movie theaters and pay exorbitant amount of money when they can just wait for it to come home, especially when it's only like coming out like a month later. So it's understandable that Hasbro is doing that. They don't want to actually pay for stuff. But here is the interesting thing. Now, I want to address this from a subjective point of view. Elon Musk is, you know, he bought out, he owns Tesla, he has SpaceX, and he bought out Twitter, which is now X. And he jokingly said, after Hasbro decided to insult Gary Gygax, who made Dungeons and Dragons, how much is Hasbro? Like, he jokingly said it. And I don't think he's serious. So I want people to, like, put down their pitchforks, whether you're for it or against it, you know, of him purchasing it. Really, I think he's just more so interested in stopping Dungeons and Dragons from, you know, not allowing everybody to play, you know, because I don't like 5e. I'll say this right now. And their whole OGL debacle that they did with that. And so it's like bad business practices coming out of Wizards of the Coast, sending the Pinkertons to somebody's house. Like, these are things that Hasbro actually did, and they're verified. Like, so I don't think Elon Musk is serious. I really don't. I just think he's proposing something. You know, he's got his hands full with other stuff. Just, you know, let a millionaire yap his gums. But the reality is that Hasbro itself does need a good kick into realizing what it is about their own IPs that sells and focusing on making them exciting for the existing fans and for new fans. It has to be for both. You can't just market to one, you can't just market to the other. You got to be able to reach an audience. And right now, movies as a whole are hurting. You know, it's like the big think about the big tentpole movies that came out this year. Not as many people went to the movies. They, you know, box office didn't have as much this year as previous years. But then you have certain, like, outliers like Deadpool and Wolverine, or, you know, right now Moana 2 is doing really well. What other movies came out this year that you can really pinpoint? I mean, Wild Robot did a lot better than Transformers 1, and it came out around the same time, so it was like fierce competition right there. And it's sad because Transformers 1 was a good movie. A lot of people saw the poster, a lot of people saw the animation, and a lot of people thought about what the story was. It didn't hit everybody's, you know, didn't make it good for everybody, where everybody was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to see this movie. And, you know, for me, I went in understanding that it was going to be a new continuity, that it was almost like an amalgamation, like almost, I've heard it said, homogenizing all of Transformers lore into one story for one movie that could be a good introduction to the franchise for people. And I think that's a pretty good, you know, accurate assessment for this movie. Not everybody likes it, but a lot of people who've seen it said they loved it. But what could get more people excited about Transformers movies? I honestly think that it's probably for the best that they don't continue with more Transformers movies, that they make something awesome that would be a sequel, let's say, to Transformers 1 as a new animated series. That would be great, because then you can continue that story and you don't have to be confined to a 90-minute or a 2-hour movie. You could make a full-on season and get people excited and sell toys and everything. And it would be a good jumping on point for Transformers fans. Whereas, you know, the live action films, I think that all of that, just looking at the diminishing returns after Age of Extinction, when Michael Bay said, I could, I can make a bad movie and people will go see it, and not as many people went to go see The Last Knight. It took a lot to get people to go see Bumblebee, and that was a slow burn. Rise of the Beast had a moderate success, apparently. And Transformers 1, it's the lowest earning, but apparently it did not, it's pretty much breaking even at this point, to my understanding. So it's sad that it did not meet expectations, but I think that we have to take a look at into consideration, what can the Transformers franchise do to win over new and existing fans? And you have to do it and cast the largest net possible. Do the thing that makes people really want to be invested in and excited about Transformers. That's really the bottom line. And there's a lot of ways that they can do that. I'm just speculating at this point. I'm just, shooting my mouth. I'm talking about this from the perspective of, it really sucks that this movie did not do well, because it was a pretty good movie. I think it was better than the live action films. And, I don't consider it better than the 86 film, but I think it was a really great film. And it's sad that this movie did not do very well, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So I want to know what you guys think about all this Transformers news. Are you excited about any of the stuff that's coming out for Age of the Primes? Are you excited about the Missing Link stuff? And what do you think that Transformers as a whole, just in general, should be able to do to captivate audiences? Do they need to go stick to the movies? Should they do that? Do you need to make a better cartoon? Because the comic books are doing great. Skybound Comics are doing great. Which direction do you think that they need to go to wow more audiences and get, people excited about this franchise again? Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have many more Transformers videos like this coming soon, so stay tuned for all of that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.